Hey everybody, what we have today is another Four Quarters Brewing tasting. Brian from Four Quarters, thank you sir. You sent a wonderful variety and we're gonna do 2 or 3 tonight. Thanks for helping, Beth.
Yep. You're welcome.
And then the idea is that Chip and I will drink a few of the more stout type ones. Which one do we have here? We have Space Poppy. Session IPA with Galaxy and Simcoe hops, 4% alcohol. Dedicated to, what does that say? Laika? The Soviet space hop? You know, I think I've had this one before because I remember reading that.
Oh, okay.
On one of his, on the can before.
Huh.
So, the Session IPA is, as you probably know, it's supposed to have a lot of hops and sort of drink sort of like an IPA but be lower in alcohol. These beers normally don't do a lot for me because they have kind of this hop character but they don't have like the body and the malt and the balance to it that I want in an IPA. But I have had some okay ones. This one smells nice. What did it say? Simcoe, Galaxy. You know, Galaxy is not a hop I'm super familiar with. Galaxy and Simcoe. Alright, how does it taste?
It's good. I taste a little bit of bitterness. Do you? Or is
Yes.
that, okay.
Well, that's kind of what I was saying. If this beer was 6% or 7%, had that same amount of bitterness, it would be a little more masked by the body and the alcohol.
Okay.
It tastes kind of a tangerine, grapefruit.
Yeah, I was thinking grapefruit too.
I don't know if that's the Galaxy. Simcoe is often a little bit of a pine flavor.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm getting that right now, but it could be in there. I think this is a nice beer, and for a session IPA, you know what it kind of is? It's sort of like, if you look at it, and it kind of drinks like this too. It's kind of like a session hazy IPA.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Yeah. See through it at all.
And it has that like yellowy straw milky color
Yeah.
that a lot of the New England ones, and I mean Vermont is, you know, definitely an area where you're gonna get some good New England IPAs.
Nice.
So it's like a hazy New England IPA, but they just say, Brian just says hazy IPA. So yeah, I mean, I think this works. It's less alcohol, and so it would be lower calories, but it does pack, like you were saying, it packs a pretty good amount of bitterness and flavor into a 4% beer.
Yeah, I bet it wouldn't give me the same headache that a regular IPA would give me, or a regular hazy IPA.
Or just any beer with more alcohol.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Space Puppy. All right. Thank you. As you will notice, we're out of the basement, and that's not Beth.
Negative.
So Beth and I drank, I think, 3 of these. Chip and I are going to sample 3 of these. I think what I might do is intersperse them just for variety's sake. But you just saw, I believe, probably the first video that Beth and I did. This one is Pillars of Creation. It's a IPA made with Nelson Sauvin, and I believe it says Ella. We were talking about this, 7%. It has a the white wine, white grape kind of aroma from the Nelson Sauvin. It has a nice amount of bitterness. Of course, it's balanced. Now, do you think this would be considered a hazy IPA from New England?
Yeah,
I suppose it would.
Even if he's not marketing as that seems to be what it's doing.
But what about the taste? I mean, it kind of tastes like a hop juice kind of beer.
It tastes
not West
slightly
Coast.
more bitter than I would.
Okay.
Than like
Some
any IPA. Give me the fluff and the creamy.
Sure.
Hazy.
But some of those have a little more bitterness to them. So, once again, like pretty much all the 4 Quarter stuff that I've ever tried,
It says Ella can actually give star anise. Which I would wonder if that kind of comes off as like minty, licoricey, but I don't get anything like that. But
I was thinking I was getting a little bit of pininess, but...
I get a muted pineapple is what I said.
Muted pineapple.
Muted.
Mute that pineapple.
Pineapple's too loud.
Mute it. Stupid pineapple skin thinking it's all flashy.
It is, yeah. I won't. I'll wait to riff Poetic off since you're trying to keep this short.
Well,
I just think it's funny that we like Heady Topper is kind of the OG, but like we sometimes forget what it tasted like because any IPA is now just its own giant thing of hazies, but like
yeah.
I feel like that probably was more in this like bitter-ish vein. I feel like it's definitely, and you made this point, the local beers like they're kind of soft local beer.
I think Heady Topper to me at the time reminded me of like a Pliny the Elder. It was just like these white whale beers that if you could get them and you would just be so impressed with how delicious they were. But yeah, I don't know why we're talking about that. This is good. Yeah, this is really good. We have 2 stouts, I believe, to get to, so we thought we would start with this. But Brian and crew, nice job on the Pillars of Creation. I can't tell what we're looking at here. Are we looking at stars and junk? And
yeah, they're like
amoebas and it looks like I know we get it. It looks like
I think it's like galaxies either birthed or dying,
or coral reef,
or
either one.
Yeah.
Hey, we're back with the second one, which is called Jabberwocky, and I had to look it up. I thought Labyrinth or something. I can't remember what this term was from. Alice in Wonderland, Lewis Carroll poem. I guess I don't know a lot more about it. I think it's a foe for her in that book. Pale ale with Amarillo and Simcoe. So we're a second Simcoe beer in a row. 5.6%. So we had the Session IPA. Well, that's interesting. The Session IPA had like a lot of hops, right? And bitterness and hop flavor because it's an IPA. Well, this one's higher in alcohol, but it's still, they call it a pale ale. Amarillo and Simcoe.
Yeah, this one I like a lot more. This one's real yummy. What is Amarillo?
Type of hop.
Which means yellow in Spanish.
Oh, well, it just means it's the name of the hop. Hops start with a experimental assignment like N47 or something. Oh. And then if it goes to market or if it gets to be the type of hop that they think they can sell, then they'll create a name for it.
Okay.
So I actually don't know if it has anything to do with it. I doubt it has anything to do with Texas or yellow, although hops have yellow lupulin glands inside. But I don't know how they name the hops, TBH. Not really sure. Some are named after regions, but...
Do some have less strong of a flavor, or... Okay.
Yes. Some are more or less bitter, more or less aromatic, different types of flavors, too, and aromas. That's why I'm not the best at it, but sometimes you'll... Like, if this was an all Simcoe beer, you might be smelling kind of piney or tasting kind of piney characteristics, whereas Amarillo and Simcoe... Amarillo, I'm not totally sure on the designations. I think it has a citrusy component, maybe some grapefruit or something, which is kind of common in a lot of them. This is a really nice balanced beer. It's more balanced than the other one because it has sort of like a little bit less bitterness, but a little bit more body and malt. Has a little more malt character. Yeah, this is a really nice pale ale. 5.6%. Cool label. I don't know if that has anything to do with Jabberwocky, but all his labels are always really interesting, unique, well done, and there's a consistency in the fact that they're all well done and interesting. They don't have a consistent look, but they're all cool.
Yeah, that one looks like stained glass or something.
This is really tasty. The more sips I take.
It is. I feel like I usually enjoy the pale ales a lot, so maybe.
More than the IPAs? Yeah, IPAs are sometimes just a little big and a little strong, and I mean, I do like them too. And then there's double IPAs, and there's just it just keeps going. But now we're in the time of hazy IPAs. They kind of rule these days. Well, this is really well done, Brian. Thank you again. and we'll try one more.
Mm-hmm.
Next up is a cool story beer. It's called Radio Bean. Now, I've had the good fortune to visit Brian in Vermont. He took me to this coffee shop, music venue. They also have alcohol. There's a $5 shake that you can get there. It's an oatmeal stout. They put some espresso in it and a drizzle of maple scissor.
Maple scissor. It makes sense, right? It's Vermont. What else would you do?
And it's good as hell. And I had one, and Brian was with me, and we were watching the best house bluegrass band playing country rock, all kinds of great tunes. So Brian's been a fan of this place probably since before he had the brewery, I would imagine, and he had the honor of making an oatmeal stout to be used at the venue to make this $5 shake. So this beer, he said, does not have the coffee or the syrup in it. It's just an oatmeal stout. So, how is Brian's Radio Bean oatmeal stout?
It's very good. It's got
very-
a little
very
sweetness,
good.
but it finishes dry, which is nice because so many stouts these days are just over the top sweet finishers. This is like, oh yeah, yeah.
I wonder
Remember
if
when stouts used to just like dry out.
But it's not
Nice.
like a
That's-
dry stout.
No,
Maybe.
yeah,
But
no, because there's oatmeal, there's body,
And
there's a little
what was
residual
the
sweetness, but it's not like
alcohol.
a pastry stout. I think it's 8.
Do it be?
I might have imagined that.
6 point something.
Oh.
I can't. My eyes are bad.
What's up,
anyway,
Papa?
but I got
Where's
glasses. I got my reading glasses now. I don't got them with me. And it's
Where is it?
It's on the front, son. On the bottom.
6.
6.0.
Damn, I was way off. But further to my point, it doesn't fit, even like a higher alcohol stout would finish still sweet, kind of slick. This reminds you like, yeah, dry, roasty, not bone dry, not like a 4% Guinness, but
Well, what I was gonna wonder is if I did not know it was an oatmeal stout, would I be able to say this might be an oatmeal stout? Because I feel like I feel like I might, because it tastes just like I want an oatmeal stout to taste.
yeah, it's got that like mealy kind of body. I don't know. I just
People
get
say-
lost sometimes because there's like stouts, there's like 4 and extra, there's dry,
Well,
there's
People say oatmeal adds like a slickness. There is sort of a flavor. I think of the Summit oatmeal stout when I've had that.
Yep.
I mean, it's in the
See, that is
house.
definitely drier than this, though. Would you? And it might be the nitrogen talking,
Don't know. Yeah.
but it finishes even like that's what I'm saying. That like chalkier. This, as I say that out loud now, has almost like a bittersweet chocolate finish, but it's still dry. And it could be because it's on the backside of this. I don't know what order these videos or
Oh my
beers
God.
are in.
Oh,
But
that's
up
true.
against this is definitely.
Maybe I won't be
dry.
able to switch up all these.
Dude, who cares? People are smart. They can track what's happening.
I hope so.
But it is interesting.
It's good.
I like
Very,
that they
very good.
canned the base beer.
Yeah.
I would also be interested to see his take of the $5 shake in beer form, like with coffee and the maple syrup. I'm
Yeah.
glad that he sent us
Yeah.
the base.
I mean, you could assemble it at home too if you wanted to do that. But this beer is really good, and
It is
it's
good.
fun to try because it is kind of a special thing. And this might have been the one that might have, leaked a little bit. However, it was totally carbonated, and
Yeah.
I don't know how that happened.
And
but,
maybe it didn't leak. Maybe that's
well,
from
there
packaging.
was a little stout in the box,
Mm.
a little brownness. But I mean, this thing was still holding true, and it was delicious. So.
It's good.
One
It's not
more to go.
oxidized, for sure.
And we'll get to it next. Alright, so we got the third one, which is cleverly called Brew Grass, because it has blueberries and lemongrass, which then you could say, well, why don't they call it bluegrass? Which would be even more clever, although, as we all know, that's a musical style, and that's not what this beer is about. So that is kind of a fun label. Sour. Oh, I forgot about that. Sour.
Yeah, I
wheat.
don't really.
Yeah.
It's not striking me as very much sour at all, which I like.
You like that it's not very sour.
Yeah, sour gives me heartburn.
Sour, in case you were wondering, sour wheat ale with blueberries and lemongrass, 4.5% alcohol. So then again, you have a 4%, 4.5, which, I mean, a lot of people appreciate that. They do like the lower alcohol. Now I see the color. It has a light pink, purple tint. What did you comment that it looks like?
Oh yeah, it looks like a wine or a rosé wine. It almost tastes like one too. It's really drinkable. Definitely easier for me to drink than that Session IPA. It's definitely like I don't taste a lot of the carbonation in it. Do you?
No, it seems to have a softer overall effect. But what we were talking about too is a lot of breweries. I don't know about a lot of breweries. Some breweries are doing these rosé type beers. And actually, I don't know how they get the color. I'm assuming from like some kind of fruit addition, but I think they kind of are doing those for lighter flavored drinkers. I think women like.
I actually know some men who like Fair States Rosal a lot,
and that's totally fine.
Which just kind of reminds me of. But.
I think it's just kind of. I'm not trying to be stereotypical or anything, but I believe that might be somewhat true. Guys can like rosés or rosé beers, and I have no idea what Brian's intentions are with this. It is not very sour. I think mostly if it wasn't on there, I wouldn't pick that up. I'm assuming there's weed in there. I think you get a little bit of character from the lemongrass, a little bit of a herbal, almost like a little mintiness, a little whatever kind of flavor you get from lemongrass.
Yeah. I can taste the blueberry too. Yeah, I like this. I would, if I were at a brewery, I wouldn't, definitely order this over a hard seltzer or something if it were, oh, I'm sick of drinking beer and I want something fruity. This would definitely be the option I would go with.
That's funny you say that because it doesn't taste like a regular beer. It does taste more like it could be an alternative or some other type of seltzer type thing, sort of. I mean, I'm not saying it's not a beer or but
no, I mean it does still have like a beer taste, but yes, it's not a hazy session.
And it's not overly hoppy.
No,
it's not about that.
And I like the low
hoppy,
alcohol,
pretty hoppy.
Drink. Yeah.
Low alcohol, easy to drink. Yeah, great.
Because I go to a brewery, I order one of these, and I enjoy it, but I'm just about done with beer. And this is honestly, why I like some of our brewery selections in the Twin Cities, because you can go from something like this to something like this, and that's oftentimes what I do. We go to somewhere like Surly, and I get one of these, and then I get the rosé, and that's what I would do if I.
We don't go anywhere these days. TBH, we're pretty much around the house and in the yard and in Chip's garage, and there you go. But this was a great start to drinking through some of these beers. I had a couple off camera previously, and then I've got like a handful left. So we're not going to review all 12. We'll spare you that, but maybe Chip and I will do maybe 4 or something, and we'll see what else we got in the lineup. All right, there you go.
Thank you for the beers.
So, a blast, or last tonight, I don't know about last in the full little video survey I'm doing.
A blast on video.
S'mores Stout, Imperial Stout with milk chocolate, marshmallow, and graham cracker. See, now I can't make out the ABV. Do you remember?
9.
What do you guys speak German? Anyway, a delicious stout.
Yep.
Do you taste
got a big head on it.
Individual adjuncts? Brian, we noticed it was a little bit carbonated. It was starting to come out of the can a little bit, quickly kind of poured into the glass. Now that doesn't surprise me if you're adding marshmallows and chocolate at God knows what time. I don't know if when you're doing the graham crackers. I think I had seen a picture, I don't remember if it was happening when I was there visiting you, that somebody was crumbling up graham crackers into like a bright tank or something. I mean, I don't know the process, but
I know usually the marshmallow goes in hot side, but I would bet milk chocolate goes in cold,
That
or at
sounds
least
like
like
a mess.
a warm.
What's in the marsh? When you
I
have
think
to
they
boil
use-
it and like
Yeah.
ferment it, like
They use fluff, maybe. I don't know. We were talking to Nico from Fair State. He uses the small marshmallows, so maybe there's. But yeah, I mean, you gotta assume it does dissolve and.
what if you dry marshmallow it?
What if you? Yeah.
They just float.
Probably,
They float.
yeah.
They float on top, and you rack it out underneath the marshmallows. And I
I
guess
just think if you put in like an
marshmallow
over and above average amount of lactose, it's probably the same thing. You're just getting at it from very different ways.
well, that's milk sugar as opposed to whatever the marshmallow sugar is, but
Yeah.
it'll be a sweetness. I mean, I don't think. I know that Four Quarters has made the s'more stout. I think probably a number of times. It's a fun idea. I don't know if you're gonna get it and be like, this tastes like I'm eating a s'more. You know, like sometimes a beer that's kind of a novelty beer, and you get it and you're like, oh, this does taste like cherry soda, or you know, it does taste like whatever it is it's supposed to be kind of going after. I mean, it's
I taste the milk
chocolatey,
chocolate.
it's
and the marshmallow.
chocolatey,
I
it's
just don't get
sweet.
the graham, and that could be because the darker malts are just more impactful than whatever graham cracker.
I mean, that's not really a criticism. It's just a observation. It's a yummy beer. Maybe a little on the sweet side, and maybe that's the marshmallows and the chocolate if they didn't all get fermented out, and they kind of have their flavor profiles kind of lingering in the beer.
I don't know if the milk chocolate ferments. I used that once, and then I switched over to bittersweet baker's chocolate for that purpose. To be able to.
No idea what the chocolate format it is for this particular beer, but it's
The can
delicious.
is cute. It's got little marshmallows like high-fiving and graham crackers and little circle people.
All the cans, all the
Fishing.
labels on the Four Quarters are always fantastic. I don't know who does it, Brian. I don't know if you do a lot of it or most of it, or if you got other people that help you, but it's always great. And thank you once again for sending all these beers. I still got some more at my house. Maybe I'll do a couple solo reviews. I don't know.
Oh, that's some late nights with Dono.
IDK. But we're wrapping this up here. And thanks to Chip for helping me out.
Milk
And
chocolate.
Thanks to Beth and the other segments. And maybe thanks to myself if I do some more. We'll see. So, anyway, catch you later for now.
Beth right there.
Yeah. Okay, so I did decide to do one more by myself. Strawberry Shakedown. It is Milkshake IPA with Barber Rouge hops. I had to look that up. Lactose, strawberry, and vanilla, 7%. Those hops are from France. Never had I heard of them. And they are said to have red fruit aroma and, I don't know, maybe flavor. And they noted strawberry and cherry. So there you go. That goes with, geez, can I do this without making a mess? Let's see what I'm doing. You know, for some reason I expected it to be reddish or pink. I don't know why. Because of the can, because of the title and the name. So, if you don't know what a milkshake IPA is, most of you do, but it's related to a hazy IPA, a New England IPA. However, the milkshake comes in with, they almost always have lactose. They often have fruit, and that gives it a fruit, sweet, creamy, milkshakey character. There's also breweries that actually put wheat flour in the beer to make it stay hazy. I do get some, even with all the foam, I get some fruit, strawberry aroma. It's very cold. I suppose I could have let it warm up a smidge, but it does have a fruit character. It almost doesn't taste as fruity as I thought I was smelling. Now, these are the kinds of beers where a lot of people, it's just not their favorite kind of thing. It's kind of different, kind of goofy. I might say it's sort of a niche-y kind of thing, but like a pastry stout would maybe be another example. I usually like to leave it up to the consumer. Breweries need to sell beer. If people want to buy a certain kind of beer, that's up to them, right? I mean, you don't have to buy this beer if you don't want to. I often, well, I don't buy these beers, but I sometimes have them sent to me, and I enjoy tasting them and sharing one if another friend opens one and gives me a sample. I have definitely had sweeter milkshake IPA, so I kind of appreciate this because it does have less sweetness, a little bit of creaminess, subtle fruit flavor, not over the top with the fruit. Some of them really are blueberry or what have you, and that's also fine. This one is a little more dialed back. I mean, I kind of like it. Brian, I wonder if you would say that was intentional. I don't know if this one, it doesn't taste at all old or off, so that's good, but I don't know if it did have more fruit character maybe earlier in its life. But this one is actually kind of a little bit more to my liking because it's a little more restrained with some of those characteristics. Well, there you have it. I think that was lucky number 7 of the 4 quarters beers. Brian, you're so generous once again to send these to me, and everyone, if you're in the Burlington area, Winookski is basically connected to Burlington as far as I understand, right next door. Check out 4 quarters, or I don't know what the distribution is like, but maybe you can find some other stuff around. You'll like it, and thanks for watching. Catch you later.